Good morning, everybody. Michelle Alcorn here with my mom, Helen.
Good morning.
From Atlantic Canada Cooks here in Albert County, New Brunswick. Happy Father's Day. I just want to start today by saying that to fathers all over the world.
Yes.
Though I know we were at a Brazilian celebration yesterday, and we learned that in Brazil, this is really identified more in August. So, but guess what? Local is wherever you are. So, I think all of our international fathers that are in Canada are probably going to be celebrating today. But we just want to say, thanks. Thanks, Dad. Dad in heaven for me. But thanks to all the dads just for, showing up and being there for us. And
my dad's in heaven too.
Right? And being there. And you know what? We've got some old dishes today we're using too that were from grandparents. So it's great. But barbecue is a big deal on Father's Day, right? People always like to barbecue, and I love that. My father loved barbecue. So today we're going to do some burgers. We call them a smash burger. We make them a little thinner. One of the reasons why, you can put two, so you can have a double burger.
Definitely.
Because, pile it high. So in front of me, you're going to see that the really great, simple ingredients that we're going to be using today. We've got some great beef here. We've got everybody at the Rabia store in Moncton. This is actually a beautiful halal beef. So we're going to be using this today. And we've got some great fresh corn. This isn't local from here right now. This is, I think, hybrid from Western Canada because it wouldn't be in season yet. But we're going to get started with the corn here in a minute. We love corn on the cob. And here is potatoes, like the global starchy staple.
Sliced potatoes.
Sliced potatoes. And we're going to come back to those. So let's get started with what's going on with the corn. And I think our kettle just boiled.
Yeah.
So we have like a really, we call them a barbecue hack or if you're entertaining a lot of people, a really cool way to cook your corn. So we're going to get the corn steamed right now. And I'm going to let that steam for about 10 minutes. It'll almost be cooked through. And then we're going to put it on the barbecue. But what I have here beside me is a cooler. A camping cooler that you'll put your drinks in. This one, when you turn the lid over, a place to put your drinks. I see many people in construction. This is the guy's lunch container. I love it. But what we're going to do is, and this one is nice and cleaned out. You can just hold that for a sec, Mom. So for right now, we're going to put a couple of the cobs of corn right in the cooler. So this is awesome. And I'm going to demonstrate with two because I'm going to cook the rest of this corn later today. So, and look at this beautiful plate. Mom, this came from
my grandmother homestead.
So my mother's grandmother's plate.
So her great grandmother.
So this would be, we were determining that we know that it's probably over 80 years old and really exciting. I love using this plate to share memories and things with everybody. So I'll take that, Mom.
You take it, Seth.
There we go. And look at this. So I right now have a kettle here. And this is freshly boiled water. So what I'm going to do, look at this, pour the boiling water in the cooler. And thank you, Mom. And we're going to put the lid on. And there we go. So in about 15 minutes, this corn is going to be cooked through to where we need it, 10 to 15 minutes. This is such a great idea. I'm going to hand this to Mom.
That's why they call it cooler corn.
Cooler corn, we call it. She's going to hand that to our backyard barbecuer, Sean. And we can put a timer on that. And once that is almost fully cooked, we're going to put it on the barbecue to get those beautiful grill marks. And what we're going to be adding with the corn, which I'm also excited about, is we're going to make a compound butter. And in that compound butter is just some extra flavor. And so street corn is something really popular. I see it everywhere when I'm traveling. And so we're doing a little bit of a version of sweet corn. And we often talk about how herbs and spices are wonderful to get in. Well, this is one of those recipes where we're going to do that. So I have some softened butter. So you want to make sure it's soft so that we can stir the ingredients through. You can also do this with some olive oil. Great either way. So what I'm going to put in here is some fresh cracked pepper. I'm going to put my bowl back here. So we're going to put some fresh cracked pepper. And remember, this way, when I serve the corn, we don't need all these extra things. Our guests will be able to put their butter on their corn, and it has all the spices and seasoning in it. Now, I like a little bit of a lime zest, kind of Tex-Mex zest. And I have a seasoning here. This is where Michelle should have got her seasoning out, right? Oh,
Scary spot.
Mom, would you see if you can find my Epicure chili lime? There it is. Look at that, I saved myself. That's Michelle's spice cupboard. So there's a walk in my spice cupboard. This is a chili lime seasoning from a Canadian company called Epicure. You could put this seasoning in yourself. I would use a little bit of a rind from a lime. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this into this butter. And I'm going to read the ingredients on the side because it has some dried green and red bell pepper, some onion, dried onion, spices, and some lemon and lime flavor with a little ancho and chipotle chili. But not too much, Mom. You like this one. We've had this on a lot of things. So it's not so spicy that it's too much. So as you'll see, all the spices are here in the butter. And I am going to add a little bit of garlic. Because, you know, everything's better with garlic. I'm just going to put a little extra punch of garlic powder in this. That's probably because Michelle believes we should put extra garlic in absolutely everything. So as I get this stirred up, I've got my Scow t-shirt on again. I really want to say a huge thank you to Scow and Verger Bellevaux Orchards in Memram Cook, New Brunswick. I believe it's the 11th of August. Make the plans for that week. The orchard will be opening for tours, and fresh apples from this season will be coming in, and it's a really exciting time. But we have a giveaway to do today, so we're excited about that as well. So there's that butter all mixed up. It smells amazing. And now when that corn comes off, you put the butter on and you're ready to go. Actually, there is one last thing we're going to add a little bit, and that's a little pinch of salt, because salt's always good. And my seasoning that I used didn't have salt in it, so I can control the salt that's going in. So there we go. There's your beautiful compound butter that's going to be going on that wonderful barbecue corn. So we're going to set the butter over here, and we're going to get started on our burgers. And you can really put and infuse a lot of flavor inside a burger. Mom, can you take this? I do use an egg, and I'm just going to get my mother to crack the egg and mix it up in a little bowl for me. These are, I find a little bit of egg, especially when I'm barbecuing, will help bind everything together. My little trick too, and these are gluten-free oats. There's not much here, and I've got, I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup in with the amount of burger I have, and I probably have 2 kilos of burger. So those are going to go in again, act like a bit of a binder to pull this recipe together. So in my burgers, I am going to put a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm probably putting about a tablespoon of garlic powder. The other thing I like to put in my burgers is I like to put a little bit of an onion powder or dehydrated onion, and it gets through and really seasons through the burger. So I've got that there, and I giggle about this ingredient. It's called Worcestershire Chestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
There you go. My mother can say it way better than me. This is a Irish product. I put a little bit into the meat, and this is where it's important that I have the little bit of the oatmeal to absorb a bit. And I'm putting about a tablespoon. It has rich flavors in it, and I'll tell you, other than a little bit of sugar and vinegar, it's got some red onion, it's got anchovies, garlic, spices. It's just got a beautiful flavor for beef, and it's one of my favorite. So, Mom, thank you. We're going to put that egg in there. And the last thing I'm going to put inside with this burger mixture I'm going to set here is I'm going to dice up one of these green onions. And I feel like I've got a little too much there. What do you think, Mom? We're going to move a few things around here. Michelle's got a little bit too much going on. Here we go. Make this so that you guys can see. I'm going to give you that, Mom. Actually, we need to put a pinch of salt. When you're cooking beef,
You want me to start stirring this?
you want to put, yeah, you can start stirring. That would be great, Mom. We're going to get those burgers mixed up, and then I'm going to get my hands a little dirty, and we're going to make those patties. And again, our goal with these particular burgers is to do what we call a smashed burger. So I'm going to make my patties just a little thinner. I have to make a really thick burger. You only need one, right, Mom? But we know that it's Father's Day, and who doesn't like a double stacked burger? And we've got a few friends coming over today. I'm really excited, some dads, and to say thank you for a lot of work that we've been doing around the property. Spring in Canada is always a busy time for people to get, new plants. We planted some herbs, right, Mom?
Yeah.
And just getting everything going for this season. So there we go.
And the cleanup, the dead branches and stuff fall from the trees and all that stuff.
We had a lot of those too this year.
We did.
There we go. So I've taken one green onion and I've diced that up. And that to me just adds a freshness in the burger. Even the people that are not onion lovers just notice a nice extra flavor. Doesn't necessarily overwhelm it. I'm gonna get my hands dirty here, Mom.
Go
I'm gonna
for
get
it.
my hands into there. I think we're just gonna put a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. We put pepper in the butter, but not in the burger. And I've got my burger maker there somewhere, Mom. My white.
I don't know if you can dig it out.
It is. Let's see if one can find that. I've just got it set somewhere. I think right underneath that cloth. So when I do my burgers, we get that mixture all pulled together. Look how great that looks. Right? So when I mix this mixture up, thank you, Mom. I'm gonna give you the microplane and my extra onion. There we go. So I got this really great, this one is Tupperware, I think.
It is.
And it's a burger press patty, and it allows me to get them a consistent size. That way I know when they're cooking, they're all going to cook evenly, so you don't have one burger over another burger. I just washed my hands before here, so oftentimes it's really great to get kitchen gloves, and I do have some. So we're going to get this mixed really well together, because we want all the spices to get through the mixture. And I'm just sort of squeezing it around to make that happen. Now we're gonna cook one burger this morning to enjoy with the group here. And the rest of these I will make up, and then I will cook this afternoon. And it's really nice with the green onions because you can really see how well it's mixed, because I can see the green onions through. Now what I usually do is I'll just divide my mixture into even size
Little balls.
and I just give them a little roll. Again, that's going to help when I press that burger down so that it's going to stay and it's going to keep its shape And again, because I've got some of those binding ingredients in there, they should hold together quite well. And there you go. You can see the onions through there. I have to say, it's such a beautiful spring day today, and the birds are extra loud. It's between the woodpeckers and all the other different birds out there. It's a very beautiful day, and everybody seems happy in nature.
Yep.
Right? They're all celebrating their Father's Day as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press a couple of these off so we can show off our double stack burger. So we're going to put that in the middle here, cutting board sliding. And as you see, now if you don't have a press, it's fine to do as is. I've done it to cut it into circles with a bottom of a glass. But there we go. Look at that. See, there's a perfect thickness of the burger. Thanks, Mom. Plate here. And we're just going to do a few of those. And again, I'm pressing down fairly hard because I really want to make sure that that burger is going to stay together properly. So, and another really important tip. This burger meat is perfect temperature, and I'm going to say it's, it's still cool, but it's not cold. And it's really important that you try to not put cold meat on a hot grill. Because what happens is the outside starts cooking before the inside starts cooking. So we're going to give these to barbecue Sean. Look at that. Those look great. Pass those off to Sean. I'm going to finish making the rest of these after. I'm going to give this bowl, I'm going to take this bowl over here. And Mom, we're going to get you to show them what we're going to do with the buns. Get your buns over here. That's funny. Get your buns over here, Mom. And where did we put the
butter?
The butter. Actually, Mom, if you want,
I'm going to use a little bit of that.
let's use that. I think that sounds amazing.
That'll be
So
good.
tell the group why you do what you're doing.
Now, it's just a hamburger bun, but I put the butter on it because when you grill it, it grills right in and it's so flavorful. And it doesn't, and you get it a little bit on the crispy side, as you know, and it's just tastes so much better. You bite into it and you get a little crunch of the burger and a little crunch on the bun. Love it all. Oh, that looks delicious. Especially a compound butter is really much. Regular butter is good too, but we get a compound butter, it's really good.
We're just adding flavor,
Oh, definitely.
right? So did you do both of them?
No, do you want me to do both? Okay.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do one for this morning and we'll do the other one afterwards. That way it
Yes.
doesn't sit. The other thing I just want to say, a lot of people love that sesame seed bun. And these are super fresh. And we got these at a local baker. So check out local wherever you get that opportunity. So we're going to hand that over to you, Mom. Mom's going to get that off to Sean. And we're going to get those things in the barbecue. We're going to be wrapping this 30-minute meal up, and you're going to see the corn's already on the grill, the burgers are on, and because the burgers are, again, in a nice thinner slice, they're actually good to cook really quickly as well. So, the last dish that we're going to prepare today, I think I can say, is an all-time favorite of mine growing up. Unbelievable amounts of these barbecued potatoes. They're wonderful for camping, so this is great. You can do this recipe in your normal oven. You can do it on a grill, a charcoal grill, a regular barbecue, any of the above. And this is where I say, nice simple ingredients. So I've got a bowl of potatoes here. And I've sliced these by hand, and just make sure we're saying that they're similar sizes.
Yeah, fairly even. Yeah.
Because this way they're gonna cook evenly, and I like to do them in slices. That way I know that they're gonna get cooked completely evenly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put some olive oil over the top of these. And I'm going to season them with some nice cracked pepper. And I'm going to stir these together really, really well. Now, we love onions in our family. And I also know that we've got some guests coming over today, and they're also onion lovers. Because sometimes when we were kids, some of us didn't like onions. So my mother would make 2 batches. I'm adding some salt. Right, Mom? One without onions and one with onions. Fortunately for us, we have all onion fans today. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a quick chop on an onion to put in with them. And the nice thing is the shape of the onions doesn't really matter because they're going to cook up fairly evenly. But what I'm just going to do is I'm going to kind of slice the onion similar that I did the potatoes. So those rings will go through and they just add a wonderful flavor. And I know as we've got, I want to say huge thank you to our YouTube audience and our Zoom audience that comes in. And I think Dion is here from Halifax, and he and I were recently talking about these very grilled potatoes. So there we go. We're going to push those onions through. I can already taste these. And I have to tell you, the trick with these potatoes is how long they stay on the barbecue. And you want them kind of low and slow so that the flavor can get all the way up through. I am just going to add a couple of smashed garlic cloves in here that are going to get, just to add a little extra flavor. Because again, I think garlic just goes good in everything, right, Mom?
It does.
Rough drop this one a little bit. There. So some nice garlic through there. Because I do love garlic and everything, there we go. I think my eyes are watering from that onion I just chopped. I'll say that. As I can feel my eyes watering, I should say.
Put in there.
So I just add, thanks Mom, some garlic powder. Because, you know, always a little extra garlic. We're going to get these stirred around. And Mom, I think I heard you playing with that foil.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, I think, Mom, you know, you would make these up sometimes the day before and have them in the fridge for camping, right? So that they were ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to come up and bring that foil?
When you go camping, you have to have stuff prepared.
Right? In advance.
It was easier than doing it on site.
And it's just definitely camping season.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. So I'm going to just drizzle some olive oil in the bottom of this. It just helps with sticking.
Yes.
I'll tell you one thing. Cooking sprays are really good too. I'm going to be putting this into 2 packets. Good one, Mom. That definitely. There. Like that. I'll split it about 50-50. Just I might just cut up another onion for that next batch, right? And put that in. So what we want to do here is I'm just going to get them spread out evenly. And it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine and he was saying, do you know my favorite part is the crispy bits that get stuck to the sides? And I couldn't agree more. Okay, so I'm just going to drizzle a little tiny bit of extra olive oil. There's one other ingredient that I didn't put in to the mix.
Thyme.
Yeah. Smell? What kind of thyme is that?
Oh, lemon thyme.
Lemon thyme. So I am just going to put the lemon thyme across. So it's just going to add, remember we've got the lime in the compound butter for, this is going to add a lemony. I have a huge amount of this growing in my backyard. There we go.
So we're generous with it.
We're generous with that. So, see the trick is we kind of want to fold it like an envelope a little bit, right, Mom? You do that one.
Yeah.
And fold.
So it doesn't leak
And
out.
fold twice, exactly. And then on the sides, we're just going to sort of fold them over and up. There. That way, and this is a heavy duty paper that I'm using.
Tin foil, yeah.
If you have tin foil or aluminum foil,
Yeah.
if you have a lighter one, use 2 pieces.
Double it up. Yeah.
Double it up, just wrap your opposite
Away.
the
yeah.
other direction.
Yeah.
So this way, they're layered flat, so it'll cook for about 5 to 10 minutes this side. We'll flip it over and then probably do 2 flips just to make sure those will cook through evenly. But isn't that great? So those
That's
are all
enough for me.
I love it, Mom. She's all about that. We're gonna check on, why don't we have a check on Sean at the barbecue and see how he's doing. As we're wrapping up here, let's just talk about the toppings that are gonna go on our burger. Because, you know, burgers are great, but let's be real.
How we doing?
It's all about toppings.
2 minutes.
So, couple of the toppings that are definitely going to be happening, and I think there's some traditional toppings. So I'm going to slice, look at the size of this tomato I have here. Huge red tomato. But what you often see here too, the grilled corn should be ready. I'm guessing.
Oh, he said 2 minutes.
Okay. Excellent. So, tomato. A nice, it's really good to use a sharp knife. Here we go. This is the perfect tomato because look at the size of the tomato. 1 slice will cover that perfectly for that burger. I love some onions on my burger, but I generally like a caramelized onion. These, I want you to show you, are a pickled onion. So last night, and you can see the juice here, I soaked these overnight with some apple cider vinegar and I added some honey. So those have been overnight soaking. We're going to set these off to the side. Those are going to be a beautiful, you can put them in a jar, put them in your gear, and you can have them in your fridge, and you can take out those fresh pickled onions. It keeps your onion flavor, but removes that really heavy bite. And in here, I love dill pickles. So we've got some sliced dill pickles. I'm gonna put a couple of slices out here that I'm gonna make sure go in that burger. Mayonnaise. I gotta grab the mayonnaise. There we go. And I'll tell you, it's funny. Cheese is the other thing that for me is an ultimate topping. Many people like a sweet relish to go on their burgers. I've got my pickle on there, so I don't necessarily use my sweet relish. Or exactly. This is like a honey onion mustard. So another great flavor there. But a real mayonnaise is always amazing. I also, did you give him that bun to grill?
Yeah, everything's there.
Excellent. And here's the cheese. There we go. I know the corn's done. If you could go get the corn and not wait for the burger, but the corn shouldn't be in the cooler. The corn should be on the barbecue, Mom.
Right.
Mom's pointing to the cooler. Maybe it still is in the cooler. If that's the case, then I didn't give my cook the right directions. No, there's no corn in here.
Oh, really?
All right. We're going to get this off the barbecue and tie this together. The cheese goes on the burger so that the heat will melt that. So it's sort of like, here's our time together. So, dessert is always good on Father's Day too. Everybody loves a good dessert. And I know I spoke about this the other week. I'm not as much of a baker, so I love going to our local bakeries. I have some more baklava here from the Rabia store. A couple of extra different types. Super excited about taste testing those. So,
There's the burger.
where's the corn? Just hand me the corn. Okay, we didn't grill the corn, unfortunately, but we're going to show how it got cooked in the cooler. So, there we go. All right. So, oftentimes, you don't grill the corn. So, I know we said that we were going to grill it. It's perfectly steamed. So, if you wanted to do a fast grill that you could, but we're at the end of our time. So, Mom, if you can hand me a plate, I'm going to put the butter onto this. And those burgers look sensational. So you're going to see the steam because obviously that went in there with that boiling water.
Oh, yeah.
And look at that. That's coming out. Look at that. Ooh. And I can already feel that's cooked, fully cooked through. So if you have a large group of people, they can just open up the cover of the cooler and grab their corn. So let's sit here. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And you just have your butter station off to the side. Oh, it gets better than butter melting off of corn.
Yummy.
Right? I'm going to take a bite of that. I'm going to put this over here. My corn's rolling around. And let's build that burger.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So here. So we've got the bun. Look at those. Perfectly grilled. Like Mom said, when you put that little bit on. If you can open that, Mom. Just with the mayo open. So here we go. We're going to put that cheese on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these onions in between. Right? And we're going to layer the second burger. I love this. We're making a double decker. Right? And of course, as we said, we love some pickles on there. The ultimate burger. Remember one time it was like one of Elvis's favorite burger has peanut butter on it.
Yeah.
And the top of the bun is right beside me. And wow, smash that down. So happy Father's Day. I hope you enjoy a nice double stacked. And here's your smash. You smash that burger down so that you can fit that in your mouth. We've got our wonderful grilled corn. And of course, our potatoes we're going to be roasting later. Come check out our Instagram, our Facebook, and our YouTube channel. And you can see all of our latest and greatest recipes.
We're going to do the draw.
Come on, we did the draw. We did the draw. And we just want to say thank you to Sammy Malfar. Sammy is originally from Jordan. He happens to be here in Moncton, New Brunswick. And we're going to be dropping off the amazing Scout basket. And it's more than a basket because it's a lobster trap. Look at that.
Oh, that looks cool.
So, Sammy, thanks for following along, subscribing, and being there for us. Congratulations, right?
Right, Sammy.
We'll get some pictures, and Sammy's going to enjoy his beautiful basket with hat, t-shirt, and some wonderful cider. So, congratulations. Happy Father's Day to everybody, and I hope that you go enjoy some amazing food. Well, next week, we'll see you for some exciting smoothies.
Happy Father's Day, Pat.